Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I might just be looking at the greatest model kit of all time, and no, I don't mean that, I mean this. This is Bandai's best hit Chronicle 1:1 scale cup noodle. I mean, this thing has it all. It's got plastic noodles, plastic prawns, plastic green things, a noodle window. It's all molded in color accurate noodly colors, and it seems like you guys wanted to see this quite a bit. Anyway, that's enough babbling, let's get this thing built. But first, if you do want one of these of your own, there's a link down there in the description and you can get yours from Hobby Link Japan. Now here we go. So first off, there's the box and well, do not eat! Seriously, did they actually have to write that there? Was somebody out there actually trying to eat this? There's also a little warning up top there, do not put hot water in it. That is really tempting me to put hot water in it. Must resist urge to destroy. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. There is the front of the box. I've already taken a look at one of these best hit Chronicle kits before. That of course was the PS1. You can check that out if you haven't already. It was a lot of fun. This looks even more ridiculous, which is great. On the first side of the box, we've got the gist about the best hit Chronicle line of kits. And basically it's a line of kits involving innovative, awesome things that are just super iconic. That's pretty much the gist. As for some of this kit's features, we've got a hyper-realistic lid. The front section can be removed in order to make essentially a little noodle window. That is interesting. The logo on the front saying cup noodle is made of a combination of parts, molds, and stickers. We're going to see that very soon. The most worrying thing I've seen on this box is the fact that apparently there's stickers for on the shrimp. That makes me sad. And of course we've got a dense noodle cluster. Honestly, I never thought I'd be reading about the part separation on some plastic noodles, but here we are. We've got an instruction manual that reveals the secrets of cup noodle. And around on the other side, we've got the parts list, as well as some information about cup noodle itself. And apparently, this was the first cup ramen in the world. Inside of the box, we're greeted by all those bags of plastic runners that you'd be used to seeing by now if you build a lot of Bandai kits. However, this is something completely new and fresh. The parts in here are off the charts, the color looks great, and what has me the most impressed so far is the amount of attention to detail on each of the different elements in here, especially the letters. From the color separation, including the big old hollow section that will be in the front of the cup, to the red outline to the individual letters, it all looks crazy awesome. We even have all the instructions around on the back molded into the plastic. This looks crazy. Of course though, I can't feel anything but a little hard done by when it comes to those little prawns in there. They don't look like they looked on the box, even though they said that they wouldn't. So those naked prawns bring me right onto the next aspect of this kit, which is the non-plastic elements. First off, we've got that lid. As far as I can tell, this looks pretty accurate. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these cup noodles. It is also silver on the underside for accuracy. That is pretty cool. Next up, we've got the sheet of what I can only describe as detailing decals. This has everything from the ingredients, the allergens, the nutritional information, the sell-by date, all the way to the stickers for on those ebi. Now, I don't know if this is really going to work or not, but it's going to be fun to try out. Next up then, we've got this sticker. This is the reseal sticker for when you're keeping the lid down while it cooks, or you could just get one of those anime figures that does it instead, but this is an option. And lastly then, in here we've got your daily intake of greenery. So without a single doubt, the build of this kit is ridiculously unique. I've never built anything like it. I will mention as well that all of this kit I did do just with one snip of the runners with the God Hand, just to check if any parts don't really fit that well if not cut out cleanly. However, I did double snip all of the letters because they would definitely be a problem if you didn't. Like I already mentioned, the build of this is incredibly unique and more complex than I thought it would be. Because of the particular design of this pot, it can only be assembled in one way. It's not actually symmetrical, or should I say the parts themselves are not actually symmetrical. So there is some sections on this which look like knobs, slots, pegs, etc. that can only attach in the one way. This is incredibly simple, but you're going to have to be careful when you're lining them up just to make sure they slot in just right. This kit builds in a whole bunch of elements. Just like you're seeing right now, you start with the top, then you move on to the bottom, which is made out of very similar yet a little bit smaller set of parts. My personal favorite aspect of this build is the letters. There's just so much detail here, and one of my favorite things about building plastic models is the fact that you spend so much time on one part of something that you'd usually just glance over quickly that you kind of see a lot more than you would have before. I would have never noticed that the Cup Noodle logo was missing sections of the O's and the D because they overlap themselves. Honestly, I read over it so quickly, I've never noticed that. These all fit together perfectly. Make sure to clean them up nicely so they don't stick out kinda crooked. And once again, I have to say, this looks spectacular. Bandai's respect for the original design here is so palpable. This is a kit made with love. The rear section of the body of this kit then is covered in incredible detail that's molded into it. It's almost a shame to cover this up with this sticker that's included. It would be a whole lot nicer to maybe paint this up and run a wash through that so it picks up all of that detail. But for this review, I'm going to do it just out of box, then with the stickers, just to see what you get in the kit. I mean, seriously, everything's on there. The nutritional details, the allergens, everything. The rest of the assembly of this particular section is very straightforward. It's just put the right places where they're meant to go. Everything fits seamlessly, looks beautiful. All of the parts are very nice, feels great. And Bandai's absolute reverence of the noodle cluster is so obvious here. The amount of parts just for the noodles. They could have just cast this in one big block, but they did not. This is multi-layered, multi-part, realistic. It's ridiculous. I've never seen so much love put into something that really is a very banal object. This is crazy. Last up then, we've got those ingredients. That is the egg pieces, the bits of meat, and finally, those somewhat disappointing prawns. I know we've got the stickers around them, but for now, they kind of look more like they're made out of, well, cheese. But that is enough about the build. Let's get to that final assembly. And yeah, it would not be me building something if I didn't outright forget a part. Yes, this gold piece right here was meant to pop in here just like so. Now onto that assembly. But wait, how did I forget we've got the negi in here? Negi is the leek sections. Do you use all of this? Whoa, not only do we have to use all of it, but we have to cut it in half first, then snip it into pieces, and I do not own a scissors. As for the final assembly, it's very simple. It just all pops together fairly seamlessly. Put in the noodles. There is the sticker. It is foil colored on the bottom. It has full stick, in case you're wondering. I was wondering as well. That means along the entire perimeter of the top of this model kit, this does stick to it. It doesn't just stay half open all the time. So there is the full 360-degree spin of what this cup noodle looks like finished without those stickers yet. I will get to those very soon, but this is incredible. I did not want to cover up all of that intricate molding detail around on the back with all of the nutritional information, etc. That looks fantastic. This whole thing looks fantastic. This is one awesome little model kit right here. Actually, this thing looks so realistic, and the lid actually sounds so realistic that my dogs thought that this was food. They legit thought this was something they could eat. If there was one thing I would complain about though, it's that that little section on the cup is not filled in red. That is a little bit of a disappointment. I wondered if that was actually present on the original 1971 cup noodle, but it is not. That is both on the front and the back of this kit, so that is a little bit of a disappointment out of the box. As for those stickers, these are a whole lot of not a lot of fun. First off, I found that they've been cut a little too deep on the paper they're attached to, so instead of actually grabbing onto the sticker seamlessly, you end up catching the paper. Then it's really hard to find a part where this paper is not cut. So this can cause a lot of screw-ups and maybe some potential damage to the sticker. Not only are they hard to get off, but once they are, these are curly. They like to go curly, so I gave up on the tweezers and was like, damn it, I'm just gonna use my fingers, cause at least I can control what I'm doing. Thankfully, this didn't damage anything, no lack of stick of the stickers or anything like that, and this went on pretty well. Honestly though, this is a massive downgrade compared to that nice molded detail underneath, but hey, I was like, if I'm going to review it, I might as well fully review it, and this is a little more accurate to an actual noodle pot. However, if this is not lined up perfectly like what you're seeing right here, it causes this almost kind of ghosting style effect where you can see the molded text behind the actual printed text. So that's a little weird on the eyes, I have to say. From a distance, you would never notice that, but up close, it can look a little disorientating unless you get it absolutely perfect. We also have some little stickers for on those little red sections, once again more accurate to the actual packet, but this would look so much better if you actually painted these pieces up than just sticking on the sticker. Once again, that molded detail is just so beautiful. Last up then, we've got some color correcting stickers for on that particular ka I mentioned earlier on. And there is some other color inaccuracies here as well on the front and the back that we may not have noticed before because they're not as apparent as the ka. And that would be on that maru section, that circle section on the poo. On the poo. The 10-10 section on the little dough on the front there, as well as one that pops in the split in the U and one which separates the L from the E. So all of these seem a little bit, well, like they could have been done in plastic, but I guess if Bandai couldn't do it, it couldn't be done. Anyway, as for the last couple of things we can do here, let's open it up ever so slightly. Drop in all... Hey, wait a minute. I forgot some prawn stickers. So yeah, these prawn stickers were just as bad as I thought they'd be. They're translucent, which is nice. They're just a standard sticker, which is not so nice. And they just never seem to lay flat. They just look odd. If this was done well, this could look kind of cool. But I feel like you'd need some kind of solvent or something to melt this onto the prawn to make it look any good. Once again, this will not lay down flat no matter what I do and just looks a little bit crappy. Meh! Mwah, I say. Honestly, if I don't need any egg or meat stickers, then I don't need any stupid prawn stickers. Everything get in there. Disappointing. Prawn. Actually, hold on. Actually, it doesn't look that bad when it's in there. So in the end, I did decide to give the prawn stickers a second chance. First off, these do look kind of cool. Secondly, these do not feel like they're going to stand the test of time at all. They feel like they're just going to peel off that uneven surface. On top of that, these are so hard to line up, so it's really easy to get a bit of an orange stripe along the center where they're misaligned because the shape is just so complex. But I just decided to put them on top where they'll be facing up and not bother on the bottom because you're never going to see the bottom of these. Anyway, in they go to their final resting place inside of that cup noodle, and I guess that is it for the review. So yeah, that is it for my review of Bandai's best hit Chronicle Cup Noodle. Just like the PlayStation, this right here is a love letter to something that the Japanese feel so strongly about. Honestly, this is master crafted. There's no better way to say it. Sure, there are some aspects that do need some stickers to be fully color accurate, especially those ebi, those prawns, those shrimp. But on the whole, this is fantastic. You might be thinking to yourself, why buy something like this when I can actually just import or buy a cup noodle, have some food, and then have a cup that, well, looks exactly like a cup noodle? Well, you could do that, but essentially that would be just a piece of trash, right? This, however, is a model kit with so much detail, so much thought put into it, and so much love put into its design. What you have here is akin to an altar to what is essentially a Japanese national treasure, and the first ever instant cup ramen in existence. Anyway, if you don't want one of your own, link down there in the description. You can get yours at Hobby Link Japan. As always, make sure to come back for more model kit reviews, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.